Leo, welcome to your in-depth yours and theirs reading. I hope you're well. I hope you are fabulous. Oh boy, have I got a story for you. Guess what happened yesterday? What ain't behind me anymore? Yeah. The second purple glass etching I had behind me shattered into a million pieces. Now, I had been meaning to kind of rearrange the back wall here and there, not in major ways, but in small ways, okay? And I haven't had the motivation simply because a lot going on. Good things. Refer to the last mid-month if you want to know more. So apparently the motivation issue stopped being a problem when yesterday I go to shift that 40-pound glass etching, okay? And whilst I am holding it securely like this, there must have been some sort of crack, something, a weak point in the tempered glass. Because literally as I'm holding it like this, I'm not even exaggerating, millions of pieces. It went from being a solid object in my two hands to thousands and thousands and thousands of what was essentially like liquid glass just cascading down, and I can still see it in slow motion in my mind. It's actually a really cool effect when I think about it, because it went from being solid to and I was so mesmerized by the whole thing. And I was lucky. I was very fortunate. I only had some superficial cuts. It could have been ever so much worse. And honey, this was yesterday. And so I'm looking at the mound of glass that's surrounding this whole back area. Crevices under the desk, around the chair, on the chair, everywhere, millions of pieces. 40 pounds of glass on the floor. My brain does that thing it does where my first thought is, I don't have time for this. Which is my nature response to any sort of inconvenience. I don't get upset. I don't get panicky. I don't get angry. I don't get sad. My literal response every time to situations like this, I had my own little tower yesterday. Yes, I can appreciate that. I had my little tower, and my first thought is, I ain't got time for this. Next. So, and I just do what I do, you know, and it took about a good 4 hours to clean it up. I had heavy utility construction gloves, thank goodness, in my garage, and hauling it out took about 4 hours to do a triple and quad vac all around the area, micro picking, all that. And then on top of that, honey, because I am who I am, did we stop there? Hell no. I said, I got to record the fire. This happened yesterday. I got to record the fire signs tomorrow. I ain't got time for this. So after I get done cleaning, guess who's patching that wall? Guess who's repainting that wall? And then I said, why stop here, Christina? Why stop here? So we got out the paint, and finally I had an excuse to hang my Marilyn painting. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she beautiful? I'm so glad. In a weird way, it worked out because, like I said, my motivation to change the background had been low, and the universe saw to fix that problem for me. So here we have our beautiful Marilyn, one of my own flower sketches. We still have Paris back there. I hope you enjoy it. Long story short, this is where we are. And if you wanted to know why the bandages are on my hands, again, this is where we are. So that's a hell of an intro, yeah? Let's do it. Let's do it. Show me Leo and their person. Common question I get asked all the time about yours and theirs. Does it have to be a significant other? Does it have to be a love person? No. The yours and theirs, don't get me wrong, is a general love reading type. That's how I choose to read from that point of view. However, I'm just really essentially describing any connection. So take it as it resonates. I will be describing you and someone that you're connected to and what that connection itself looks like. So that means, in theory, it could be a family member, it could be friend, it could be neighbor, it could be coworker. There you go. Yep, take it as it resonates. I'm very excited for the Leo Collective. Very excited. A lot of people are going to be benefiting June 5th. As of June 5th, the next big news in astrology. Venus is going to slide on into Leo. Ooh, honey. Sexy times will be had by all. Oh my, yes. Venus and Leo? Oh, hell yes. Oh, yeah. There's an advertisement. Venus and Leo. Sexy times for all. People are going to be getting out there, forming all sorts of connections. Oh my goodness, yes. And I believe Venus stays in Leo up until September, I believe. All right, I'll have to look that up. I'm not quite sure, but that's a good while. Oh, people who have some strong Leo in their placements, oh, they're going to have fun in the next 6 months. Perfect timing, too, because the next round of readings after this one is Intimate Tarot, a house favorite. Okay, that's enough. All right, for reals, I wanted to share that with you. It's going to be really cool for your sign. All right, show me Leo in their person. 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 Like always, 3 simple rules. Take what resonates, leave what does not. And yes, you may reverse energies on the yours and theirs, more so with yours and theirs, okay? Energy interchange is real when we're talking about connections, all right? Show me Leo in their person. Show me. Yeah, it's going well. I just have to go a little slower, that's fine. But we're getting it shuffled. We're getting them shuffled. There we go. Let's do one more. Yeah, I used to say me that slow, huh? All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Show me Leo and their person. It's so hilarious. My first thought after it shatters is, whoa. The next thought is, I ain't got time for this. Third, I got to record fire signs tomorrow. We just keep it pushing like, aye. Lizzo, truth hurts. We just keep it pushing like, I ain't got time for this. Neither do you. 10 of Wands, Queen of Wands. Okay, 9 of Wands. Honey, you want to feel better. Your energy is so belabored right now. I don't know what's going on with you. You are here representing yourself with that Queen of Wands energy, which is lovely. So I know you have natural inclination within you to feel those things that are Leo standard. The passion, the drive, the intensity, that need to put yourself out there in a certain way that says, I am bold and I choose to be seen because I'm moving forward in this world in a certain way and at my own pace. Recognize me for these things. This is what I'm into. This is what I believe in. This is the strength of my own convictions. And you seem to be absolutely exhausted for some reason. I don't know why, but that's all wand. That tells me it's happening now. And that wand is immediate. Right now. You're showing me present-oriented time. You're not living in the past, and you don't seem to be concerned about the future. It's like right now, your energy seems to be at max stress. All right, let's see who is surrounding you, if at all. The Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Swords, the 9 of Swords. Well, someone is coming to a particular truth, and it's overdue. The Wheel of Fortune here. But the person who's connected to you says they should have had a truth come in about themselves with this connection a long time ago. And it looks like it's one that's uncomfortable to them with the 9 of Swords. What that truth is, I don't know. But they're overdue for understanding what that truth is. Something to do with them, to do with you, or the connection between you two. This is kind of a classic case of I've been putting this off, but I know it's true. What that understanding is, I could not say. Also possibly action. Let's see what's shared between you two. 3 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, Page of Swords. That's frighteningly immature. Overview. 3 of Cups. You would like to rejoice and have your energy lighten up and easy once more, to celebrate once more. Okay. But somebody here is resisting the most basic fundamental building blocks, and it's largely to do with immaturity. With that Page of Swords, it's like, again, I've seen this for you before, I believe fairly recently. It's that, yeah, well, you block me, fuck you, I block you too. That means nobody's gaining insight. And that means there are no possibility for pairs, even at the friendship level, so long as somebody continues to block even the smallest of truths. So I'm guessing it's leaning more on this energy. I'm not trying to put it off on them. It's just that literally the translation here is an overdue truth that somebody needs to waken up to. Okay. If they have any sort of value, regard, or want any sort of insight to this connection at all and what it means to them, somebody's got to do some work here about the truth of the thing. And being stuck in a Page of Swords and saying, well, fuck it, I'm not going to put any real work into myself or this, so I'm just going to block it. Because you're showing me you're open to connectivity. 3 of Cups. You are. Even if you are exhausted, you're still open to reconnectivity. And they're like too small and immature to see why or how their energy has contributed to the energy of this connection and why it's ultimately blocked. Perhaps they don't understand why they're blocked. You know, not with that kind of energy. It's like, what part did I play to this blockage? Huh. You know, I didn't do anything. They did it to me. Therefore, I'm pissed with them. And that is immature energy. It really is. Lack of insight. And if somebody's taking this long to pull out a truth from themselves about what they want, what they're thinking, why they're doing it, what their motivation is, it's always going to remain this way. I know they think they're blocking this or not moving it forward or putting any action into it by choice, but they're the ones who stuck with the bad feeling. You're burdened in your own particular way, but it's present-oriented. Speaking of which, let's jump into this Three of Cups. You're showing me a willingness to connect, to celebrate and rejoice in someone's company. But you know, if somebody can't own their side of the equation, that's going to be really hard to do. Because right now, I'm seeing a bunch of low-level, immature, I can't see this, you hurt me, you blocked me, therefore I'm going to do it to you. I'm not going to try to understand anything about how I contributed to it or why. And therefore, no change plus no change equals no change. Show me this. Now, I know this doesn't look terribly thrilling, and I don't blame you for that. Could be that some of you simply are just working hard and you're absolutely exhausted like I was yesterday. Because let me, honey. Oh, boy. By the time I was done... Oh, boy. Show me this Three of Cups, please. Show me this Three of Cups, please. Show me this Three of Cups, please, for Leo. I do apologize. Throat is dry once more. Show me that Three of Cups, please. The Star. The hopes and the desires. Two of Pentacles, but you don't know what to do about it. Temperance, give it time. I think that's a good summary. There's a good summary. I believe this as well. I think this is correct for you. Three of Cups. Would you like to connect and or reconnect with somebody? Yeah, you would. You're very honest about that, so thank you for being honest. Because it still means something to you with the Star. You still have hopes, dreams, and desires attached to whatever this is. In other words, you still have hope for this connection in some way. I'm seeing it as the spiritual and emotional connection at this time, because in reality, there doesn't seem to be anything to go on. You're saying you don't know how to approach this. Emotionally, spiritually, temperance. Here's the spiritual and emotion. Here's the spiritual. Okay. Would you like to reconnect this to heal it? Yes. Yes. You would. Your energy's being very, very honest about it because it comes from a beautiful place within you. Okay? You can't have this kind of energy unless you had beautiful intentions towards that which you wish to reconnect with. So I know it comes from a good place in you. There's someone here who represents something that once brought you Joyce. Some of you, your name is Joyce, and for some of you that's confirmation. That you used to rejoice in easily, splendidly, but in current day we don't know how to give to it, or they don't know how to give to us. I'm thinking it's them not knowing how to give to you based on the massive amount of confusion for what they want and what they understand this connection is about. Because you're showing me such beautiful spiritual energy, it's like, you know, fundamentally, you would like to reconnect with this person and rejoice with them once more. Okay? So it's like, I don't know how to give to this, and I don't think they know how to give to me either. Otherwise, the hope is there. The good feeling is there. Or at least you'd like it to be. Okay? So yes, the potential exists, but as I have to tell Scorpio all the time, we cannot live on potential. Okay? Two people have to know they're coming together in love, or it just won't happen. Okay? Whatever that is. All right, let's jump on over to your side. Show me this Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands, Nine of Wands, honey, that's a lot of stress. Again, some of you, since that is such very present-oriented, physical energy, wand is physical. Some of you are just physically exhausted. Physically. And it may have nothing to do with this at all, because it's so, again, heavy, presently oriented. Show me that Ten of Wands, please. Ooh, that one's a bit tougher. Show me that Ten of Wands, please. Show me that Ten of Wands. Show me that Ten of Wands. Show me that Ten of Wands, please. Show me that Ten of Wands. Come on now. See. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Again, the Page of Swords and Temperance. It's like, Somebody is too immature to understand that healing is possible. They have to own their side of the thought. They have to own their side of the feeling. Ten of Wands. Show me that 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 Ten of Wands. You know, what is it they're refusing to address within themselves that keeps them in such a low plane of existence? I mean, really. Ten of Wands for you. Two of Pentacles. There it is again. Four of Pentacles. The Magician. Okay. You understand now. This is understanding and insight. Ten of Wands. How difficult, how egregious it has been for you to hold on to something that just won't come through. It comes back to this Two of Pentacles. So it's directly related to this connection, this Three Cups gig. Okay. You've been holding on to it. And this, I don't know what to do with this. I've been trying to manifest it for God knows how long, and all it did was weigh me down, slow me down, make me tired. You held on to this as long as you could, not really knowing how to give to it, then not really know how to give to you, despite the fact that we manifest and manifest. You know, honey, here's the thing. I can see manifestation all the time, all day, every day. But if it's not coming through, this is the result. We're tired, angry, frustrated. I don't know why I'm pulling this in as best I can, and I still don't know how to give to it, and it doesn't seem to know how to give to me. Why am I doing this? It just exhausts me. And it did. It absolutely exhausted you. Trying to keep this thing in play, trying to keep this thing in rotation. It doesn't give to you properly. You can't give to it properly by proxy. I know you wanted to. The inclination was there. But it takes two. And you kept saying back here, Christina, you've told me this. You were very honest about this. I would love to bring this together. I would. I still have hope for this connection. I still have good spiritual and emotional feeling for this connection. But when it comes to reality, it's crap. And this is a two-way street kind of thing. I've been manifesting this, and all it does is exhaust me. So again, this is where our spirituality and our emotionality aside, it does not excuse us from what we're experiencing in the 3D world. You have to understand this. You must understand this. It is not worth your time, energy, and effort if all you are is exhausted by it. You can feel good about it emotionally and spiritually, but if it's not coming through, then that means the manifestation is not for you right now, or perhaps it never was. And this is something that we have to understand, especially if you've been holding on to it as I believe you have for as long as you have. Let's see. Show me that Queen of Wands. Are you fiery? Yeah. Are you passionate? Yeah. Would you like this connection to be beautiful and inspiring and loving? And I don't know about being in love. It's just kind of like this is how basic this is. I would just really like to feel good about this situation or person again. You know, I try to manifest it. All I end up doing is holding on to it, and it just makes me feel bad. There doesn't seem to be anything fruitful that comes from it. It just exhausts me. It feels like your expectations are not being met no matter what you do or how well you manifest it. When your expectations are simple, but the reality is not racking up, right? I know. It drives people crazy. How can the manifestation be so simple and beautiful and the end result be such crap? I'll tell you why it takes two. Just because you're manifesting and you're exhausting yourself trying to put your best into something or someone doesn't mean they're doing likewise. Lack of insight. Show me that Queen of Wands, please. I'm not saying you're perfect. No. If you were perfect, you would have stopped holding on to this and manifesting it a long time ago, and you wouldn't have been burnt out by it. I think your energy towards it's beautiful. But your 3D expectations for it were not realistic. You received a lot of evidence to be that burnt out. But I know you, honey. You're passionate, and it's really hard for you just to give up, and that's just not really who you are. So that often means Leo having to burn themselves out before they realize this isn't mine. Queen of Wands, Justice, Ace of Wands, you figured that out. You figured it out. Good, good. As we were discussing, yeah, some of you had to break away from this. Okay. Good. That's exactly what we're talking about. You, somewhere in this, okay, that means you're an insightful Leo. I'm not trying to lecture you. I just want you to see how it's drawing these 2 points together. Your beautiful energy and intentions versus reality, and you kept ignoring it at your own cost. You flipped that energy around and you started doing right by you. Yes? You want to know how you did right by you? You understood. This is your master symbol here with the Ace of Wands. You understood you should be putting your energy back into you and meet your own expectations. Meet your expectations. And thus you give yourself justice. Okay? Thus you give yourself balance. You look towards you. You put the best of you into you. And if you're not getting it back from that person whom you expected, because you did. Let's talk real. You expected it. I don't know if those were reasonable or unreasonable expectations, but you expected something back. And it was the simplest, as far as I can tell, of energies. I just want to feel good about you and about us when we come together. Very simple. But no matter how simple or small it is, doesn't mean it's not like a mountain for somebody else. For you, it was easy. For them, it wasn't. I don't know why. I'll get to them in a minute. But you made things that much harder on yourself when you continued to cling to a reality. Or, I'm sorry, the opposite of the reality with the expectations. So we dropped the expectations, we put them back into ourselves, and oh my, don't you feel better? Okay, I'm not saying it was an overnight thing. You probably had to work into this energy. But once you started to focus on you, oh my goodness, and you made that active decision, oh my goodness, didn't we feel so much better? Confidence is back. Your sense of energetic direction is back. You feel less exhausted. You feel less drained. Now, why are you showing me blockage? 9 of Wands. Could be that you did just straight up block this person and it hurt you to do it. Perhaps you had to block your emotions for them. I don't know. I'm terribly curious. You showed me such magnificent recovery. You have to understand, honey, who you pursue, who you want to put your best of energies into, they need to be a reflection of your values. This person, they may not be a reflection of your values, so you need to stop putting the values on them if they don't want the assignment. That's the thing about expectations, honey. Just because we have good emotional expectations for someone doesn't mean they have the same, or know to have the insight, etc. And when we get a lot of evidence that they don't, it's on us to let them go. Okay? Expectations kill, man. It's one thing if you two are married and you have very different reasons to have expectations. This is not that I can see. That's a different level of expectations. This, as far as I can tell, is a friendship that felt very special to you. Possibly a bit of a romantic interest, something in there in between that 3 of Pentacles and the 3 of Cups, you know? Somewhere in there of I know you, and maybe I know you a little bit in that special way, and I'd like it to be more. 3, so you did block them. 3 of Pentacles, they're showing that as well. You're showing it. The World, you ended it. The Lovers, I'm not saying it was easy. Okay. But where there are endings, there could be beginnings. It's hard. I'm going to interpret this a few ways because of the placement and how they fell out. Okay? Yes. You did the hard thing then. I see you. I congratulate you. Especially knowing where you came from and how long you put up with this. But also you have to remember you were an active participant. That's your side of the board. That's your side of the equation. You chose to give to something, pull it in, manifest it. When you had ample evidence it wasn't working. That exhausted you. To your credit, you took your energy back and you put it into you, and now you feel balanced, refreshed, replenished once more. In other words, you did right by you. This wasn't. If it was doing right by you, you wouldn't have gotten to this point. If it was a fair exchange, you wouldn't have gotten to this point, you understand? Now, then I see you being tired again, but blocking, and I'm like, blocking them? The answer is yes. There's that 3 of Pentacles. Guess what? 3 of Pentacles. We blocked that friend. We did more than that. We cycled it out. You are either recognizing the loss of that lover, or a very strong spiritual connection, or you're going to enter into one. I do not know yet. We will need to see more as we go along. As I often say, as one door closes, this is a door that's closed, your special friend. Perhaps this is what was actually at play, and this is why you hung in there as long as you did. You knew that there was deep significance to this connection, whether or not they could admit it or see it. You did. That's why you kept it going. That's why you continued to participate long after this thing proved it would not give to you in a way that was consistent or reliable or fulfilling your emotional needs or even your passion needs, as far as I can tell. Because, man, once you put that energy back on you, you seem to be so satisfied. So that tells me how dissatisfied you were with, A, what you were getting in the real world, as denotes by your 3D energy, what you were getting in your emotional world, which was a bunch of blockage and confusion, and also what you weren't getting in your spiritual satisfaction either. Your passion's way off. So I don't know how they were ticking your boxes to begin with, because I'm not sure what they were giving you. Doesn't seem like much. And that's why what you wanted from them was so, in your mind, simple. I just want to connect with you easily because you mean something to me. I'm not sure how much of a lover they were, but they meant something to you. I suppose that's all that mattered. I know. With the ending of that friendship, for some of you, you recognize it as the ending of my lover. And for others of you, with the ending of this friendship, enters a new lover. I do not know which is which yet. You do seem to be gravitating towards the best of energy in yourself, and thus you are putting outwards or reflecting onto the world new. So there's a good chance you are attracting new. This is, of course, literally the law of attraction. I attract from my place of values. What somebody else doesn't give me does not dictate my value. I dictate my value. Okay? All right. I'm very curious. I'm going to see if I can clarify further, but we'll keep going. Let's keep on keeping on. The Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Swords, Nine of Swords. Someone is overdue for a harsh truth. Somebody had to learn something the hard way. They got cut out the hard way. Let's see why. You did the thing as far as I can tell, and it looks like you were very brave. I'm not talking about being mean. I'm not talking about being an asshole. I'm not talking about raising a fight. It's you acknowledging I have to do this because it's in my best interest to do so, not because I want to. Do you want to know how I know that? Right here. This is what you wanted to do. You actually wanted to make peace with your friend. And I have every reason to believe that you tried to put that forward. And again, it was rejected. Or, again, somebody couldn't put the constructive effort into it. Something. Let's stop talking about it and let's look into it, yeah? All right. Show me that Wheel of Fortune, please. Show me that Wheel of Fortune. Show me that Wheel of Fortune. Ooh. Show me that Wheel of Fortune, please. Show me that Wheel of Fortune. Show me that Wheel of Fortune. Show me that Wheel of Fortune, please. Show me that Wheel of Fortune. Show me that Wheel of Fortune. I really like the turnaround of your energy from being strung out, drug out. I'm holding on to this, but I'm manifesting the best. The best won't show up. I have very small expectations, and even those aren't being met. That really kills me, honey. That breaks me, because I know what that's like. I have such, when it comes to you and I believe I have reasonable expectations for you and I to have good emotional energy towards each other. Why is that so hard? Because somebody between the two of you is not coming from the same place. Even if it is something as simple as let's make peace between us. If somebody else doesn't have that in mind, they just want the feel-good energy without putting the work behind it. You know, it doesn't matter how simple that, but I just want to get along with you like we used to. Feel good about you like we used to. Is that really so hard? For some people it is, honey. Ten of Wands, I'm sorry, that Wheel of Fortune. Ace of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the Hierophant. Okay. Let me know, first of all, you might be connecting to Taurus. They might have some strong Taurus in their chart. That's a lot of sexual energy. Okay. I don't have a problem with sexual energy at all. Ace of Wands, the Knight of Wands, that's beautiful energy, but we're not doing intimate tarot today. By all rights, you are showing me that you had a very deep understanding of what this connection meant to you, but that you just really wanted to get along with it, make peace with it, be gentle with it, be friends with it. And I think somebody was approaching you from this determination as the Hierophant that it's just passion. It may not mean anything else to this person, or they may not know that. With the Hierophant there, it kind of throws me off. It could be that this person's already in a commitment and they just had nothing but passionate energy towards you. That would kind of explain the low function. 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups. You had expectations for bringing it together in a peaceful way. Okay, as friends. And perhaps they just couldn't do that. It was just sexual energy for them. And even if they're not in a commitment, okay, it could be that this person, their spiritual energy was trying to talk to them and they weren't hearing it through all the passion. Let's keep going. But it was something overdue that this person needed to understand. It's all right if you approach somebody from just sexual energy. Okay, but if they're not upfront with it, then there's a problem. I don't make any judgment about that. People need to live their lives. If somebody's just about their sexual energy, it is their responsibility to say as such, and so the other person can make an informed decision. The informed decision I see you making is that I really want to work things out with this friend. I feel for them in a very special, unique way, and that's my point of view. But I can't even make us work out as friends. I tried to the point of exhaustion, and I just can't anymore. Put the focus back on you, and you immediately showed yourself justification. And then you officially blocked them and cycled them out. I'm still curious about the Lover's piece here. Okay. Ace of Swords. Show me this person's truth. Show me this person's truth. Show me this person's truth. Show me this person's Ace of Swords, please. Show me this person's Ace of Swords. Show me this person's Ace of Swords. Show me this person's Ace of Swords, please. Let's do one more. Show me this person's Ace of Swords, please. You know, if it's just mess around energy, it's just mess around energy. But the person who has it's just sexual energy for me, they got to cop to it, you know. They got to say, I don't really have any deeper feeling for this, and I'm not trying to have deeper feeling. It's really just about, but who's going to say that? You know why? Because they're much more likely to get shot down. It's like, hey, my name is so-and-so, and I think you're hot. I'm not looking for anything serious. I'm just trying to get my dick on. What are you going to do? Nah. What are you going to do? No, they're not going to present themselves like that. They're not going to present themselves like, nobody does that. I wish they did. It would save so much time. And then the low level, kind of low energy, this is where I'm at life, can meet the other people just like them, and they can go have all the fun, and the other people who are more serious can leave room to connect with each other. I wish people sorted themselves out like that, honey, but it's just not life. That's just not life. Can you imagine? You can quote me. It's the Temperance, 4 Cups. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I got it. Shit. Tail old this time. Tail old this time. Oh, that's so disappointing. That's so disappointing. There's a missing piece in this person that they can't heal, and they were looking at you to fill that particular void, likely through sexual energy. It's their particular truth they need to come to terms with. The reason that they opened up and act foolish, negative in this respect, is to feel better about themselves. They need to understand that. That's why they just showed sexual energy towards you, I believe. They needed to feel better about themselves. There's something in their heart with the Four of Cups that's like a bucket with a hole in it. They don't feel good about themselves or where they're coming from. They're emotionally down and upset, disappointed in their relationships, personally or otherwise. Relationships that have come and gone before you or that they are currently in. I do not and cannot dismiss that this person might be in a commitment, in which case they're unhappy and they don't know that they're unhappy, and that's the reason they made advancements towards you. They really believe it's a case of sexual energy towards you. The truth is they're looking to feel better about themselves. It's a cliche and it's a disappointing one every time I see it. I don't feel good about me, and I feel a certain level of emotional absence in whatever relationships I'm in. You're kind of hot. You're kind of interesting. Maybe I can start to fill the void I'm feeling in myself. I'm bored. I'm disappointed. Nothing emotionally sparks me anymore, and I can't seem to give that to myself. So I'm going to project all that disappointment outward and find a reason to light up. And when they looked at you, they found a reason to light up. It came through a sexual energy, but it comes from a place of emotional disappointment to place their particular hole in their bucket that they have not fixed. That's why their emotions and sense of self, self-worth spill out, and they're looking to fill it back again. It's literally the overdue truth, and it's a Wheel of Fortune that's happened over time. They were way overdue for understanding the origin of their energy towards you. In other words, their motivation. Their motivation towards you was sexual energy coming from disappointment in their heart. You know, this is that person who's insecure or they're bored. They don't know it, but they're looking to be distracted. They're just looking to be distracted. They're overdue for seeing this shit. Way overdue. In other words, they should have figured this out a long time ago. Show me that Nine of Swords, please. Show me that Nine of Swords. You accept the love you think you're worth. So if this person's in an emotionally disappointing commitment, that's not your problem. They need to figure that out. You know, they got to figure that out. They've got to figure that out for themselves. You, as far as I can tell, did you want to coax the best out of this connection? Yeah, you tried multiple times. Multiple times to be a good source of support and light and love. I know you have love for this person, honey. I don't think you deny it. I think you have very simple, I want the best for you because I see the best in you. I see you love. You don't have to be in love to have those feelings. It's just love. It's love of dignity for someone else. You really, I do believe, had the simplest hopes and constructs based from healthy love to work things out with this person. But you couldn't get it back, not even from the simplest functions of, I care about you, I respect you, and I love you. This is why I'm trying to connect with you. And they're like, you turn me on, and that's really the only missing piece I need in my life. Damn. Whether or not they had deeper feelings, I do not know, because they have not seen to their own. They themselves are unhappy and disappointed, thus they were searching for something. You. Anything. Anyone. I believe they have a deeper spiritual connection to you, but tell that to someone who's more concerned about feeling better. Just for that day in that moment. I don't know. Show me this person's Nine of Swords, please. Show me this person's Nine of Swords. Show me their Nine of Swords. Stress, fear, worry, anxiety. Show me that Nine of Swords, please. Show me that Nine of Swords. The Empress, the Star. The intuition. You know what kills me? Kills me? Do you know what that fucking kills me? That fucking kills me. Through this person's stress and anxieties, not feeling good about themselves, understanding why they're connecting to them intuitively, I was wondering if they understood they had a deeper connection to you. They do, and they feel it, and as soon as they feel it, it feels confrontational, so they talk themselves out of it with the Nine of Swords. They try to unconvince themselves of the deeper connection they experience with you. They say it's passion. And even if they had the insight that the reason they're attracted to you is because a part of them is missing, They would fail to see how. I believe they were supposed to connect with you to understand the reason why they feel the absence of something, their emotions. Okay. Because I believe you were supposed to introduce that concept, not to double down in their behaviors and stay in whatever relationships that are so unhappy, but to see you as the source of, this is what happiness looks like. Instead of to continue to reject it or deny it. That kills me, man. That kills me. Intuitively, when this person, if they could ever push past their fears and anxieties, which is quite a lot, their sense of disappointment in themselves, trying to fill that missing piece within them that burns like an empty hole, convincing themselves it's just passion. If they could actually listen to their intuition, they would know exactly who you were to them. Not a friend. Not a challenge. And not just someone who turns them on, but someone of great importance that has longevity. It's really hard to listen to your intuition when you sit there talking yourself out of it. That can't be right, that can't be right, that can't be right. Intuitively, they feel the connection in the way you do, but they take it to a bad place and shut it down. Intuitively, they know you're an empress. Intuitively, they know you're a star. That you would love them and care for them and be generous with them. Unconditional love. Care, time, attention, productivity, healthy. But until they can fill that missing piece and then that understands that they deserve to love and to be loved like everyone else, they're always going to be wandering around searching for that missing piece, feeling temporary inflation about something that feels good, and then they'll go back to feeling down again, and they won't understand why. They're always looking for that next thing to light them up, even if it's temporary. And it's like, oh, that fills the void a little bit in that moment. And then it comes down again. And I bet that's when they used to reach out to you, is when they started to feel dull, lifeless, low energy, no passion, no interest, no intrigue. And then suddenly you would hear from them, wouldn't you? And then their energy would pick up again. And then when it came down to apply more to the 3D, back down again. Because you show me ongoing disappointment for some sort of rotating pattern that you had with this person. It was obscure. It didn't make sense. It was not cohesive. It was inconsistent. It was flaky. It was wishy-washy. And you held on to this a long time, hoping it would improve, and for the simplest of functions. So that tells me their energy was like this. When you had it, it was there. And when you didn't, it didn't. And I'm telling you, that's the inflation cycle. Somebody who's disappointed and doesn't know it. Someone who is unhappy and doesn't know it. They're going to look for temporary spikes. Like how we can crave an ice cream right there in that moment. But it doesn't serve us in the long term, does it? It just made us feel good right there, right then. This person needs a lot of ice cream or cakes or whatever it is that they run on in their human equivalency to feel good about themselves. So that's extremely disappointing. Extremely disappointing. And the more they reject the connection with you, the more they reject what they deserve. I wish I could say it's uncommon. It's not. If you have a poor concept of self-image, you're going to accept the love you allow. If this person doesn't understand that they deserve the love that they need and just look for temporary solutions to a long-term problem, it will always continue to be. It'll be the next thing they move on to, or the next thing that makes them excited for a day or two. And then go back to being down and a little unhappy and not really sure why. That's, again, lack of insight. Okay. And like I said, it was overdue. This person has a spiritual side. Let me make that clear to you. Even though they're showing me I don't really understand energy. I don't understand. You're full of shit. I don't know what you're talking about. They show that with the Page of Swords. Okay. But they actually have deeply spiritual energy. Hierophant, the High Priestess. They have strong tones of understanding things deeply. But when it comes to the outside experiences, it's like that's where they can't make good on things. where it counts the most, in other words. Strong sense of value, poor sense of execution. If this person understood their value, they wouldn't need temporary inflation to feel better. They would not have misconstrued their connection with you as just being sexual. They would have appreciated from the very beginning who you were to them. And I say were because by all rights it's looking like you ended this. I just know that they're kind of haunted with that energy, Nine of Swords. I'm sure that they shut it down or try to shut it down as soon as the thought enters their mind. Yeah, if I understood I lost a star in the Empress too, I wouldn't want to think about it either, you know. But what were you supposed to do? What were you supposed to do, honey? You waited and you held on and you played this Two of Pentacles game with this person for a long time with the manifestation, just wanting the simplest of come together in peace and love energies. You and I don't have to be married. You and I don't have to be a thing. I just know that you and I are on the same emotional page. That's all you were asking for. Resisting what they're worth, you know? People do it all the time when they're unhappy. And they don't understand why. It's just easier not to, right? It's not easy to... It's people just don't want to understand because then that would mean they'd have to change or do something about it. And people really hate thinking, I missed that opportunity. Nobody wants to think that. Nobody wants to be the bad guy. I would say it's not about being the bad guy. It's just, where's your level of insight? If somebody refuses to have insight about who they are, what they're worth, what they're accepting, and what they're not accepting, you get what you get. It's not about being a bad guy. It's just being unaware. You know? The shared energy of the friendship, which you've already noted, was important to you. And that you wanted bare minimum function with it, but happy bare minimum function. Three of Pentacles. Show me the Three of Pentacles, please. Show me that Three of Pentacles, please. Okay. Ten of Cups, the Empress, goodness me, oh my God. Six of Wands, oh my goodness. Yeah, that's pretty stellar energy here. Pretty fucking stellar energy here. It's just, God dang it. Over a friendship. Over a friendship. We just wanted to emotionally harmonize. We just wanted to feel good. Just wanted to know that you two were on the same page, even if it meant being just friends. Just knowing that there's proper love. Ten of Cups, proper love, proper support. Open acknowledgement of what the two of you mean to each other, even if it's at the friendship level. It was like that would have been fine too. Just to know that they felt the same way. I could have operated under friendship. Because again, I will remind you, the reason you exhausted yourself is because you were holding out for even the simplest of functions with this person. Mutual goals of emotional expression and rejoicing for the right reason. That's exhausting. I'll take a Ten of Cups with you. Just emotionally harmonize with me. We can be friends. That's fine. That's fine. I can feel good about that just so long as I know you and I are on the same page. Man. Seven of Wands. That got blocked. I synced it once. I synced it twice. Show me that Seven of Wands, please. Five of Pentacles, the World, Ten of Wands. I know, there you are recognizing this is what I had wanted with you as a friend. That's big energy there at the Empress, the Ten of Cups, and the Six of Wands. It's like I could have been this generous, loving person to you if you would just get on the same page. You can call me friend. We can be friends. That's cool. That's fine. But I value myself. And you say you value me. They saw you as the Empress as well. Let's meet at the same place at the same time, under the same emotional conviction. And we can cooperate as friends. I just don't think they could get out of their sexual energy viewpoint. And I also think they could not come to terms or cannot come to terms with the fact that they are fundamentally unhappy. And that you are essentially what they deserve. But they'd have to know that they're worth that. Instead of thinking, I'm unhappy and I'm looking for ways to improve it. Oh, I know. Leo turns me on. So, sexual energy, that should do it. Again, it's temporary inflation. You were meant to mean so much more to them than that. What unconditional love is. Unconditional care is. Respect. Mutual interest, mutual benefit. Very strong friends. You could have been a very strong ally, bare minimum, with the Empress over that Three of Pentacles. Forget about it. Strong ally, bare minimum, to this person. But as long as they continue to run around looking for something to plug the hole in their lives and not see you for the energy and person that you were meant to represent in their life, it was going to lead up to this point. Okay. I mean, you don't get much more. There's your Ten of Wands again. Here's the reason you blocked. I'm seeing your reasoning. The reason I blocked this, Christina, was I willing to come together under strong allyship, that I genuinely love this person and I can work it out with them, even at the friendship level, not expecting anything more. You're very clear about that. I'm not expecting anything more than to be a very strong support in this person's life, that I care about them. You made that clear. I care about this person. I love this person. Can't even do that. I gotta go. It hurt. It hurt your pride. And it caused you extreme physical exhaustion. The World, Five of Pentacles. You cycled this out. You take responsibility for the break. I know, and I've told this to other folks many, many times, you know. You get what you get. A lot of people have or suffer from this mentality, you get what you pay for. So what do? And that's a very American thing. You get what you pay for. In other words, pay big and you get the best. How much did you pay and you did not get the best? It's proof that that is bullshit thinking. It's the investment rule. You invest a little bit and they give it back. You invest a little more, then they invest a little more. And if at any time that contribution becomes unequal, we got to stop and ask ourselves why, and is it reasonable? And if it's not reasonable, and it usually isn't, it's time to completely part ways. Because that gap just gets wider and wider. So no, it's a bullshit theory. Just because you pay for the best, your time, energy, and effort doesn't mean you're getting it in return. In fact, you usually just end up getting caught in this cycle where you end up paying more for two people to compensate what you're not getting. And there's the investment, right? Now I've put so much of myself into this, I'm locked into a pattern of doing more than they are. And I'm barely keeping this together at this point, right? So you have to know when to draw a line on that investment and write it off like a check. I think you put way too much into this. You know why. You love this person. Simply. I don't know what they are to you. They're like a friend with special feelings, but legit ones. In your eyes, you were going to be a powerful ally to this person. You didn't even question it. You didn't question it at all. You didn't question the support. You didn't question the alliance. It's just, I just wanted us to meet simply in this way. And they won't wise up to where this connection comes from, why it's in their life. They're unhappy. They're looking for temporary feelings to make them feel better, but that's not a long-term solution. It's a short-term solution when you are actually presented to them as a long-term solution. This person's terribly short-sighted. And again, when you're unhappy every day and you don't know why and you can't fess up to it, or you're in an unhappy relationship, again, same reasoning, you can't see it, you won't allow yourself to see it, you're going to look outward to find your temporary fixes to feel better in that moment, instead of seeing the long-term solution. But that requires sacrifice, and that requires a willingness to make change. And if this person is not in that space, they're not in that space. Show me that Page of Swords, please. Very immature, not saying much, not doing much. You did your part. That was very active. Very active. So good job on you in realizing what was going on and that you had to own up to it and face it. Good. Very good. That's healthy decision making. And that's based on evidence. Not lack of evidence, with evidence. Understand the difference. When you make decisions with evidence, correct. When you make decisions without evidence, incorrect. You made a decision with evidence. So if you wondered if you were crazy or if you screwed up or if you did something wrong, the answer is no. You did not. Page of Swords. Page of Pentacles. The Moon. The Fool. Yeah. Tying back to this person, this is something they're still very immature, not doing anything, not changing anything. Again, angry. You blocked me, well, fuck you, I'll block you too. Without understanding, again, the lesson you were meant to teach them about the long-term solution to their short-term and long-term unhappiness, and it will continue to be so long as they remain blind about it. And they confuse passion with intention and what's missing, etc. We've discussed all this. Unfortunately, I don't see their energy moving anywhere anytime soon. It's very, very stuck. Yes, would they like to spiritually open up? Do they know that? No, they don't recognize it with the moon. It would require making change. This person's not very good with it. They're not very good at acquiring change, understanding change, the parts they're playing in their life and why. Why do they look for temporary measures of happiness in order to sort their day-to-day bad feeling? Again, this all requires insight. I'm saying literally no insight here. 2 pages cannot support the weight of the moon, specifically the discovery in it. This person, I told you from the beginning, had an overdue truth they don't want to recognize. A, they're unhappy. B, they look for small things to make them happy, temporary inflation. They saw that towards you and it came out through or manifested itself through sexual energy, when really you are the solution to their long-term happiness in that terms of you are the love that they deserve, but they have to understand that they deserve it. So try explaining that to somebody who has very poor insight. I'm sorry, I do not see an advancement in this person's energy in terms of insight, awareness, or understanding. Therefore, again, if you're that Leo who doesn't, you're not fully sure if you did the right thing, I promise you did. You cannot work with what you do not know, and this person cannot work with what they do not know. They have such an inability to see for themselves, or think for themselves, or feel for themselves. And they look for little things to make them happy. And it works for a while. Then they go back to being sad. And I bet that's when you heard from them, right? When they were kind of low-key bored, low-key depressed, low-key disappointed, nothing's going on. Right? Did you hear that from them? Oh, there's nothing going on. Oh, so you decided to text and or call me. Great, thanks for that. I appreciate that. That's what this is. Were they supposed to see you as the love that they deserved and can enhance and enrich them? Yeah. But again, try explaining that to someone who has no insight, or they choose to remain trapped in their day-to-day without understanding why. Point is, you chose not to. You chose to do the opposite. I see you taking responsibility for this. As for the lover here, I'm guessing that's them. Okay? I didn't see it as anything new. I saw you putting the best of your new energy into you, feeling refreshed and empowered once more, as you should. And part of that is knowing that as deep a connection as this was, and you were really willing to be true friends with this person. True friends. True friends. I just don't think they could hang out in that space with you, honey. They couldn't hang out. They were still confusing your friendship for sexuality as opposed to emotionally based. It was here. It was always here. That it was supposed to be so much more than that and deeper than that. But if they chose to see you as a sexual energy that temporarily relieves their boredom or discontent, There's nothing you can do. Were they supposed to waken up to this? Yes, they didn't. Spirit, the universe can only do so much. They can present people to us, circumstances to us. And if we do well and we recognize ourselves and see ourselves in it in the right ways, we'll gravitate towards it, claim it, even if it means sacrifice. And other people be like, that's too hard. I'd rather just accept the fact that I'm a little bit unhappy and find little ways to cheer me up. Rather than have long-term standing change of happiness in my life that I don't have to question or feel insecure about. Because as far as I can tell, if they had chosen this, they'd have no reason to be insecure. Not with themselves, their sexual energy, or their emotional energy. And just the lack of improvement, the lack of insight is just astounding. Like I said, though, when you miss an opportunity like this, what are you going to do? Say, oops, that's my bad, I shot myself in the foot. Or you're going to be like, nah, that wasn't for me. That's not an opportunity at all, Christina. I just got turned on by them. So what? Mm-hmm. Feather, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but also that kind of Ace of Swords energy where it's the truth. Crab, sign of Cancer, hot air balloon, rising high into the sky so you can look down below to see what the heck's going on. Scorpio's medallion, excuse me. Yes, some of you, this is your medallion with Leo, but it's face down and generous. And just, again, you showed the Empress to me. You would have been a powerful ally to this person. You were very generous with them because you wanted to be, and it came from a good, healthy place in you. In other words, you were generous with this person because you genuinely love them, as they are who they are. But honey, if they don't love themselves, they're going to treat other people accordingly. And it's just... I hope in time that they can wake up to what this connection really was and how it actually affected them. And nothing's too late so long as we choose not to let it be too late. Aries, snowflake, Scorpio, and then also last winter might have been significant. Yeah, I'm not surprised to see that it's all the zombie, the drudgery, the day in, the day out, that that 4-cup low-key feeling every day, all day, doing the same thing over and over again. And that's when they get bored and disengaged, and that's when they're looking for a little pep me up, right? I need to feel good about myself real quick because I don't dare look at what's actually going on with me in my other relationships. Because if I did, God forbid, I might see something I don't like. What can I do to make me temporarily feel better? And here's the thing, as you blocked them and rejected this connection because it just wouldn't synchronize healthy, the more and more that pressure is going to bear down on them in future of what they lost. However, it's as lost as they allow it to be. It's true. It's as lost as they allow it to be. Just because you cut them off and cycled them out doesn't mean that you had final say. They could say, they could do, they could act, in theory, but they'd have to have the insight and the wherewithal to do it. We all have free will. You chose to exercise your free will to end this connection. They could have just as easily exercised their own free will to level the fuck up, get some insight about what's going on, the true motivation, why they do what they do, why do they approach you at all. So you roll in it and then approach you. Everybody has free will. So the fact that this person is so passively accepting this and that they don't have to look further into it, yet it's going to stress them out intensely in future when they realize what isn't there and could have been. And that's a weight I wish no one would bear. So they can choose to accept this or they can choose not to. Okay, the Tower lightning moment. Oh, I'm sure there was. The infinity loop. Yes, I know you two are spiritually connected. I have no doubt. You showed me that, and to a lesser extent so did they. The dragonfly, you made hard changes. I believe that too. And then big masculine glasses. It's so weird. I didn't get any... no initials. Okay. No initials. I don't feel right without initials. Let's get some initials, please. P, and that's it. Capricorn and courageous. Very courageous and generous you have been. Okay? Yeah, I know. You did the hard thing. I know. You really did. Again, you didn't want to. I'm saying that you had to work yourself into it. It was based on evidence, not lack of evidence. Again, just because you emotionally feel aligned with somebody doesn't mean the 3D world is matching, in which case your logic needs to step in and say, this is what's actually going on. Is it acceptable to you, or is it not acceptable to you? And that's it. Does this meet your values, or it doesn't meet your values? Is somebody trying to meet you in the same valuable space of, you and I are connected, I value and honor our friendship, and I love you too. Let's work from that premise and we can be strong friends. Bare minimum, that's what you were asking. Bare fucking minimum. And if they can't be honest with themselves, at some point you saw that. That's going to be a hard day when they realize what they lost. Okay. All right, Leo, honey, the next round of readings is 2 weeks now, from approximately 2 weeks from now, the intimate tarot readings. I don't know necessarily that I'll pick up on the same group of Leos. I would like you, since you are marking yourself with new and infused energy, and you are showing me a clear split from somebody who may or may not have been a faux kind of lover, a friend that was a powerful connection, that had the potential to mean more. They knew that, and some part of them rejected it. It would take too much work. It would force them to see things they don't want to see. It would force them to break outside their own box. Couldn't have that, right? No. It just must be sexual energy, right? So I would really like to see new for you in intimate tarot, because at this point, the Leo I'm looking at says you are a free agent. You did the hard thing. You did the hard thing with the best intentions. You love this person very much, but you did what you had to do. So I'm hoping to see a continuation of this Leo move into something else, hopefully, in the next intimate tarot. I don't know. I can put in an order with the universe, but it's not Whataburger. It is what it is. Okay. All right, Leo, honey, that's enough. You put in the comments as you see fit. I do hope this reading helps you. If anything, it's just to verify that you did the right thing. And when you are that exhausted by trying to make the most basic of emotional, simple connections come together, and it's just not. You had all the right will and reason behind it, but they couldn't meet you there, even in the simplest of, and I strongly suspect, honey, all the goods were there. But if this person can't get out of their head and stop seeing you as a one-way street for sexual energy that they feel temporary relief in, and that you're actually so much more than that, for some reason they're rejecting that so hard. And there's a very good reason. They either have critically bad self-esteem issues, in which case you're going to reject what's best for you because you don't know what's best for you. That's very classic. Or, as I said, this person's in another commitment and they don't understand how unhappy they are. Otherwise, their energy wouldn't have reached out to you, sexually or otherwise. When you're in a happy connection, you don't do this. You don't need to. Your needs are being met. So this person's emotional and sexual needs aren't being met, but again, not your problem. So no, you're not crazy. You did the right thing, as far as I can tell. All right? Take care. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.